Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Weekly digest for week 2 of May 2025. Grant Thornton Bharat is in discussions with multiple funds to secure private equity, mirroring a global trend in professional services. Firms are seeking capital for expansion, technology investments, and to offer competitive compensation. This move could revolutionize the sector in India, potentially leading to more mergers and acquisitions as firms strive for scale and global reach. ICAI is set to finalize its review of Gensol Engineering and Blue Spart Mobility's financial statements for financial year 24 within 6 months following regulatory scrutiny. Gensol Engineering's promoters face allegations of fund diversion and governance failures leading to SEBI action. The review will assess compliance with accounting standards and could lead to disciplinary action if irregularities are found. SEBI has amended Regulation 13 of the SEBI LODR regulations, which deals with the grievance redressal mechanism. In a significant move to enhance investor protection and regulatory oversight, SEBI now mandates that the scores registration or SEBI complaints redressal system must be obtained at the trustee level, encompassing all special purpose distinct entities for which the trustee acts. This centralized approach is aimed at improving accountability and efficiency in addressing investor grievances linked to securitized debt instruments. The Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs has issued Instruction Number 4/2025 GST dated May 2, 2025, providing a structured grievance redressal mechanism for taxpayers facing issues during the registration process under the Goods and Service Tax regime. The instruction comes amid growing concerns raised by stakeholders over delayed processing of GST registration applications and lack of clarity on escalation procedures. The CBIC's directive mandates the constitution of Grievance Redressal Committee at the zonal level, which will be responsible for resolving issues related to pending registration applications that exceed prescribed timelines. The Central Board of Direct Taxes has officially notified a revised income tax return, Form 5, applicable for assessment year 2025-26. ITR Form 5 is primarily used by firms, limited liability partnerships, association of persons, body of individuals, and certain cooperative societies and trusts not eligible to file ITR 7. Bharti Airtel and Tata Group's Tata Play have ended talks of a DTH merger, which could have created the largest direct-to-home or DTH services entity in the country. In February, Airtel had notified the exchanges that it was in active discussions with the Tata Group to acquire DTH and broadband service provider Tata Play. However, the two could not reach common ground on some crucial aspects of the deal, and hence the talks have been terminated. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corp or SMBC is in advanced discussions to acquire a significant stake in Yes Bank, potentially triggering an open offer for an additional 26%. SBI, currently holding a 24% stake, seeks a new owner after Yes Bank's turnaround. Jio Platforms, which is believed to be considering starting the process of filing for an initial public offering, is estimated by analysts to have an enterprise value in the range of $136 to $154 billion at its peak. This is equivalent to that of the 6th largest listed telecom company in the world by market capitalization as of today. Jio would also be the fastest telecom company to achieve this milestone, given that it started services only in September 2016. Swiggy permanently shuts down its hyperlocal delivery service Genie across cities, shifting focus to higher margin platforms like Instamart and Bolt. The move comes amid tough competition and strategic realignment towards quick commerce and professional services via new platform Ping. The Central Board of Direct Taxes under the Ministry of Finance has officially notified a revised income tax return form ITR2 applicable for the assessment year 25-26. The form is meant for individuals and Hindu undivided families not having income from business or profession, but earning income through salary, house property, capital gains, or other sources. LG Electronics is delaying its planned Rs 15,000 crore IPO for its Indian entity due to volatile market conditions and macroeconomic uncertainty. The company prioritizes ensuring proper valuation and optimal timing for maximum synergy. While procedures are underway, the final decision hinges on market conditions and strategic advantages, with a potential post-August share sale being considered. The Reserve Bank of India's report reveals a significant increase in gold reserves, doubling in the last 4 years to 11.7% of total foreign exchange reserves by March end. The central bank held 879.59 metric tons of gold, with a rise in domestic holdings. This strategic move aims to diversify assets and enhance financial stability amid global market volatility. Implementing the guidelines proposed in the RBI's draft on gold loans will slow down the asset growth of non-bank financiers in the segment. According to a CRISIL report, the draft focuses on loan-to-value and renewal to top-up of bullet loans, which may have a bearing on the loan growth of non-banking financial companies engaged in providing gold loans. TPG Growth is set to acquire a 35% stake in Scott Poonawalla from Serum Institute of India, with Novo Holdings co-investing. This deal aims to bolster the drug containment firm's growth in India and globally. Serum Institute will retain a minority stake, while Scott Pharma remains the controlling stakeholder, leveraging TPG's healthcare experience. Markets regulator SEBI has mandated a minimum ticket size or investment threshold of Rs 1 crore for the RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities engaged in securitization activities. Securitized debt instruments, or SDIs, are financial products created by pooling together various types of debt such as loans, mortgages, or receivables, and then selling them as securities to investors. This process, known as securitization, allows the originator, such as a bank, to convert illiquid assets into liquid ones, providing an alternative source of funding. Coal India Limited, or CIL, has resumed talks with Chile to acquire lithium mines, aiming to supply the Indian automotive sector and other industries. These discussions had previously been halted because the Chilean government required CIL to have prior experience in mineral mining, a condition that is being negotiated to be waived off. Once this condition is lifted, CIL is expected to sign a memorandum of understanding for a joint venture with Chilean companies that will mine lithium on its behalf. Celsius Logistics, a cold chain-focused homegrown third-party logistics company, announced it had raised Rs 250 crores in a Series B funding co-led by Eurozio and Omnivore, with participation from existing investors Ivy Cap Ventures. The amount was raised through a combination of equity investment, debt financing, and secondary transactions. The number of orders delivered each day by the top 3 quick commerce firms, Blinkit, Zepto, and Swiggy Instamart, doubled in March compared to the same month last year. Underscoring increasing adoption of quick commerce, the daily average orders on these platforms rose to around 4.5 million in March against around 2.2 million orders in the same month last year. Maharashtra is leading India in real estate regulation, surpassing 50,000 registered housing projects under Maha-RERA, a milestone unmatched by any other state. This accounts for 35% of all RERA registered projects nationwide. The Konkan region, including Mumbai, has the highest concentration, followed by Pune, reflecting the state's expanding real estate sector and economic growth. Non-bank lenders in Mumbai plan to address the Reserve Bank of India regarding proposed co-lending rule changes. The new model suggests joint loan disbursement, replacing the current assignment practice. NBFCs worry about increased risk and liquidity strain due to longer loan holding periods. Banks are also concerned about dual default reporting affecting borrower trust. Aster DM Healthcare will invest Rs 480 crore to establish a 430-bed multi-specialty hospital in Sarjapur, Bengaluru. The hospital, spanning 4 lakh square feet, will be developed in 2 phases with 300 beds operational by the second half of financial year 27 and the remaining 130 beds by financial year 29. International Workspace Group, or IWG, a global hybrid workspace platform, aims to become the third largest co-working center provider in India within 3 to 5 years, planning to add 300 centers. Currently operating 105 centers, IWG intends to add 40 more this year, capitalizing on economic uncertainties that drive companies to focus on core business and opt for flexible workspaces. The Central Board of Direct Taxes has notified the amended ITR 6 form applicable for companies for assessment year 25-26. The revised ITR 6 form aims to enhance transparency and facilitate better compliance monitoring by incorporating more granular details in line with current regulatory and reporting standards. Tax professionals and corporate entities are advised to familiarize themselves with the new structure to avoid last-minute hassles during filing. Jio Finance, a wholly owned subsidiary of Jio Financial Services, is set to tap the domestic capital market next week with its maiden bond issue to raise up to Rs 1,000 crore by selling bonds maturing in 2 years and 10 months. ICICI Securities' primary dealership is the sole arranger for the issue. Jio Finance is rated AAA by domestic rating agency CRISIL. Italy's Generali Group plans to inject capital into its Indian venture to expand operations, anticipating the increase in foreign direct investment in the insurance sector to 100%. While the specifics of the infusion are pending shareholder agreement finalization, Generali intends to maintain a 74% equity stake and collaborate with the central bank, its new partner, after the Future Group's insolvency proceedings. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has released a consultation paper proposing a dedicated framework for the voluntary delisting of public sector undertakings where the promoter shareholding is 90% or more. This proposal aims to address the unique characteristics and challenges involved in the delisting process of government-owned entities. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has issued a directive mandating all KYC registration agencies or KRAs to publish an investor charter on their respective websites and also display it at prominent places within their office premises. This move is aimed at promoting greater transparency and awareness among investors. The Competition Commission of India, or CCI, has come out with stringent rules to determine the production costs, helping it to tackle unfair pricing and deep discounts, especially in e-commerce and quick commerce markets. The new rules which have replaced the cost regulations 2009, have been introduced to keep the predatory pricing under check and to keep the regulations in sync with the way digital markets operate. Porter, a Bengaluru-based on-demand logistics platform, has raised $200 million in its Series F funding round, led by Kedara Capital and Wellington Management, with participation from existing investor Vitruvian Partners. The fresh capital values the company at $1.2 billion, up from its previous $1 billion valuation. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has officially announced the postponement of the remaining papers of the CA final, intermediate and post-qualification course examinations, originally scheduled from May 9th to May 14, 2025. This decision has been taken in light of the prevailing tense and uncertain security situation across the country. Sunil Mittal is planning to acquire a significant stake in Hire India. He is partnering with Warburg Pincus for this deal. The potential acquisition could be around $2 billion. Hire is considering selling a stake in its Indian unit. Other investors like Temasek and GIC have shown interest previously. Hire's revenue in South Asia has experienced substantial growth. Amazon India's group companies are significantly expanding their Mumbai presence, leasing over 1.14 lakh square feet in Vikhroli. The 5-year lease, commencing January 2025, involves a combined monthly rent exceeding Rs 1.73 crore with a 5% annual escalation. This move signals Amazon's commitment to Mumbai's growing commercial hubs beyond traditional business districts. The Reserve Bank of India has officially recognized the Fixed Income Money Market and Derivatives Association of India, or FIMDA, as a self-regulatory organization for entities operating in the financial markets regulated by the central bank. The recognition underscores the RBI's intent to promote a more structured and participatory regulatory environment by leveraging industry-led initiatives. FIMDA's elevation to a self-regulatory organization status is expected to contribute significantly to the maturity and transparency of India's debt and derivatives market. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs has officially notified the company's Indian Accounting Standards Amendment Rules 2025, introducing substantial changes to Ind AS 21, the Indian accounting standard governing the effects of changes in foreign exchange rates. These amendments aim to provide clarity and guidance on assessing currency exchangeability and estimating exchange rates when currencies are not readily exchangeable. The changes address growing concerns among preparers and auditors over inconsistent interpretations of exchangeability, especially in countries facing currency controls or hyperinflation. The revised standard enhances financial reporting transparency, particularly for multinational corporations, entities with foreign operations, and those operating in emerging markets. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation of Japan has signed a deal to buy a 20% stake in Yes Bank. The deal is worth Rs 13,483 crore. State Bank of India and 7 private banks are selling their shares. The transaction awaits regulatory approvals. This investment marks a significant step for Yes Bank's growth. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has issued revised guidelines aimed at enhancing transparency and consistency in financial disclosures made by infrastructure investment trusts or InvITs and real estate investment trusts or REITs. These revisions pertain to the presentation of financial information in offer documents or placement memoranda. These changes are part of SEBI's ongoing efforts to streamline regulatory compliance for investment vehicles and protect investor interests in the infrastructure and real estate sectors.
This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.